Hello everybody, I'm Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet. Today we're talking about that big old thing that we're trying to get down all the time, and that's called cholesterol. Not fat this time, cholesterol. Now, why do we want it down so much? Well, we've been told a long time ago that that's the way it's supposed to be. But before we start on that, I have to give a big shout out to my man Andrew Chica, who actually gave me the inspiration to get this video done, because I actually had it on my list to get done, but he just lit a fire under me and I had to get it done right away. So thank you, Andrew, for the comments on the other videos, and this one is especially for you. All right, so let's talk about cholesterol in the beginning. Now, over 30 years ago, there was an experiment done that said that Americans needed to get their cholesterol down, because after this experiment, when they did it and they lowered their cholesterol, they noticed that heart disease and heart attacks, cardiac arrest, all heart problems seemed to go down as a result of us lowering the cholesterol. However, we never did an isolated study to find out if that was really true. There were a whole bunch of other factors that were actually included in that could have contributed, and actually we know now to be a fact that did contribute to a healthier heart due to factors other than cholesterol. So lowering your cholesterol, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, does nothing for your heart health. If you lower your cholesterol, you're still at risk to have a heart attack. If you're lowering your cholesterol, you still have a great chance of having heart disease, because it's not based on the intake of cholesterol. Because we know now from other countries that they allow high cholesterol, and guess what? They have an 80% survival rate. We over here treat cholesterol with statins, things like thalidomide and Crestor, and things that will that artificially lower blood pressure, and now we have an 80% death rate when it comes to people who are actually on these drugs and trying to get their cholesterol down, when there is no scientific basis at all that lowering your cholesterol will actually improve your heart health. Bet you didn't know that, did you? Well, I'm here to bring it to you, and that's why you're on this video right now. Let's give you some more interesting facts. Now, most of the time, you're going to be treated in America with a statin. That's what I just mentioned, thalidomide, Crestor. Those are two of the more famous drugs that are used to lower cholesterol. Everybody thinks you have to get it down. We're always battling to get our fat down. We're trying to get our cholesterol down, and we're thinking that that's doing something good for our health. Well, let's go down into the research of it and actually give you some facts as to why this is not a good idea. I just gave you the fact about the other countries. That should be proof enough. But let's go to some other things that may change your mind. Heart disease cannot exist if you have clean, clear arterial walls. Now, you might ask yourself, why don't we ever hear about plaques in the veins? It's a blood vessel. There should be plaques in the veins too. Well, in actuality, the arteries and veins, even though they both conduct blood towards the heart and away from the heart, they are constructed completely differently. Your arteries actually require something to be secreted from them to keep the blood flowing fluidly, so it's not sticky, so it doesn't stick to your arterial walls, and that is called nitric oxide. The secretion of nitric oxide keeps everything flowing nice and neat, and your cell walls actually look very good when it does. However, when you stop secreting nitric oxide due to the Western diet, and the walls of your arteries start chipping away. They start getting a little old. They start getting decayed, and now you got little pieces that are in the way now that blood can attach to. And if you just add sugar with a protein, all right, sugar with a protein, you actually end up with sticky molecules inside your blood. So now instead of blood vessels flowing fluidly like they're supposed to, now they stick to each other, forming big clumps, and those big clumps get stuck to the side of your arterial walls, and we call those fatty plaques. That is where we get arterial sclerosis, hardening of the arteries due to fat. Now, we do get hardening of the arteries due to age, and we usually refer to that as arterial sclerosis. The one with fat is usually called atherosclerosis. Athero means fatty plaque or fatty substance. All right. So that is what makes it sticky. Let's make it a little bit more practical for the everyday person. If you pair a nice cheese Danish with eggs, a sugar, which is carbs, is a sugar, and the cheese is a sugar, and the sugar icing is a sugar, then what happens is you pair that with eggs, which is a protein, you just gobble those down, and now you've created a mess in your stomach, a sticky mess at that. So we want to try to avoid that, get rid of it, and this is the thing. We want to try to avoid sugar at all costs. Inevitably, in your Western diet, you will run into sugar. They have high fructose corn syrup. They add aspartame to your diet sodas. There's high fructose corn syrup in salads, for goodness sake. So please try to stay away from the sugars, because if you just want kind of an estimate of how this happens, for every meal that you eat sugar, you are gaining 1 pound per meal. So if you eat 3 meals a day, that's 3 pounds. If you eat 5 meals a day, that's 5 pounds. It's directly equivalent. So if you're really trying to lose weight, or you're trying to, don't stop sugar to lower your cholesterol, even though that's a good way. Stop sugar to lose weight. Let's get back to it. Now, sugar is the enemy. Okay, and when I say sugar, that does include carbs, and those carbs do include pasta, breads, the things that we love, and the starchy kind of things like potatoes that we may have too much of, and they are causing everything in excess of what we need to turn into sugar. We don't want that. Therefore, whenever you think bread, you should think sugar. Whenever you see pasta, you should think sugar. Even on your hamburgers, when you just think you're getting the protein, what is that hamburger wrapped in? Lettuce, tomato, and bread. Another one that's turning into a sugar. So please pay attention to what you eat. When you think about it this way, every sugar that I eat in a meal is going to turn into a pound for that meal. That means you could be, at the end of the week, you could be gaining 25 pounds in a 7-day week. All right, and that's just if you eat 3 meals a day. All right, I'm just guesstimating here. I don't have the real math in front of me, but if you want to do it, go ahead. The 1 pound per meal actually works. Now, we have a substance in our body that is a free-for-all, and it will let anything in. It's like a whorehouse. All right, just come on in. Everybody's welcome. You can do whatever you want. All right. Those stores inside of you are actually your fat cells. Your fat cells will take in anything that the rest of your body cannot process. Your liver is the most important thing in trying to keep you alive. It does a bunch of different functions for the body, but in particular, it helps filter solids through your body like the kidneys do with the liquids, and it actually helps filter poisons out of your body, and your liver holds on to it for a lifetime. Now, in some cases. Now, when the liver does that, you actually have to do a cleanse to flush the liver out, blow it up, so it can release those toxins into your digestive system so they can be gotten rid of through your alimentary canal. Now, if you are up to that task and doing coffee enemas to really as the healthiest, most effective way to clean out your liver, I say go to the video I have on this site. I say go for it. It will work, and you will feel tremendous after you do it. Okay? Now, let's get back to the liver here. Now, if you don't rid the liver of these toxins, it cannot do its job. Once you have filled it with toxins, it actually works really sluggish and really slow. And after it can't process anymore, the liver just says, hey, we can't take anymore. You're going to have to wait in line. But if you wait in line, that means that those poisons are going to be in your blood. So what does your body do? It sends it around, and the first person who will take it, it shoves it in there. And guess what that is? Your lovely fat cells. All right? Actually, the whorehouses of your body. Sorry to use that analogy, all right? Wasn't talking about anybody in particular. But let's go into it just a little bit more. When you actually combine a sugar with a protein, you get AGEs, advanced glycation end products. Now, I know that's a fancy word, but it just means sticky shit. All right, inside your blood, that is going to cause you to have fatty plaques on the inside and raise your blood pressure because you have these bottlenecks in your arteries. Okay, so let's move on to the next point. I don't want to embellish on that any longer than I have to. I just want you guys to know it is severely important. Now, let's talk about one of the more common things in society that you may not think are contributing to your cholesterol being high, even though it doesn't matter. But cholesterol, or I should say fatty deposits building up in your blood vessels, is caused mostly by stress. Now, in this case, I do not mean psychological stress. So not the things that are happening to you every day. I mean physical stress. The physical stresses that we put on our bodies. So here are a list of them. Take a look. Now, we got here chemical poisoning. And those chemical poisons could be vaccines, and they could be medications, prescription or over the counter. Again, we could have heavy metals, vaccines, and medications. You see there's a pattern here. Food allergies, usually from the additives and preservatives and chemicals that they put in our food. We can also have infections of the body. Those could be cold, flu, or anything that invades the human body. And then we have actual trauma to the body where we actually sustain scars and things like this. All of these things of which put stress on a human body. And the cells actually have to deal with this stress because they have to make sure that everything is working optimally for us to be alive. So that stress is actually weighing on the cell to fix and repair itself so that we don't die. That's the whole thing, survival. So when your body starts undergoing these stresses, it starts secreting these cytokines, especially by your fat cells. These cytokines, and they actually secrete emergency messages out into the bloodstream that says we are in trouble. And if you keep on eating McDonald's, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, all the junk, the hot and ready pizzas, the burgers from Burger King, the fake fish sandwiches from McDonald's, the fake McRib sandwiches from McDonald's, if you keep on shoving that crap into your body, you know what? All it's going to do is stress out your cells. Your cells are one day going to realize that we cannot handle all the stress that is coming in here. We can't handle all the poisons, the additives, the preservatives. We can't handle it anymore. And then, you know what happens? You develop conditions. You start to develop diseases like asthma, autism, respiratory disorders like SARS, autoimmune disorders like psoriasis, all right? Inflamed, enlarged parts of the body like you get with Rise syndrome from actually having kids have immunizations. You see, this stuff doesn't happen in your body for nothing. There's no such thing as an autoimmune disease. You are just not unlucky, and it just happens that you have the wrong blood, you have the wrong DNA makeup, and now your white blood cells are attacking your body for no reason. You unlucky sap. Is that really what's going on? Or is there something deeper going on inside your body that's trying to keep you alive, that's trying to warn you that there is poison inside your tissues, and that's what your white blood cells are trying to attack? Mightn't that be it? Instead of us just saying you're just an unlucky fool who was born with the wrong DNA, shame on your parents. I don't think so. So let's move on to another point. Now, it's not actually the physical stress, it's how your body responds to stress. Let's say, for instance, you have a stressor in your life, you just lost your job. It's not the losing of your job that actually stresses you out. It's actually what you think about you losing your job that stresses you out, causes chemical releases in your body, mainly from your adrenal glands that make you want to cry, that make you want to break down, that make you want to stay in a room, lock yourself in a room, listen to sad music and feel sorry for yourself. It's what makes you want to kill yourself, hurt yourself, things like that. Well, that's how you react to the situation. Is everybody going to react like that? I don't think so. And they won't, because other people deal with stressors differently. And that goes for your cells too. They handle it the way that you would handle it. See, your cells are nothing but many human beings that are doing the same thing on a micro level that you're doing on a macro level. So don't think that your cells are any different than you. When you say your cells, you're talking about you. All right? How you react is how your cells will react. So if you feel in your mind all of a sudden that I can deal with and handle anything, your cells will say I can deal with and handle anything, and they will help you get rid of toxins. If you don't believe that the power of thought and how you perceive the world has anything to do with your internal physiology, I want you to study a field called epigenetics, in which your thoughts can actually change your DNA. And one day, all right, this is real science, all right, not just foo-foo crap anymore. By you thinking, you would be able to change your eye color, grow your hair, stop gray hair growth, grow as short or as tall as you wanted to, build muscle without lifting a weight. That is a real scientific field. Look it up, epigenetics. It works. All right, so this is what I'm going to advocate for everybody to try to get you on the right track and see, can we get this cholesterol myth out of our heads as far as lowering your cholesterol because you think it's going to help you with your heart. So here they are. Eat an anti-inflammatory diet. Reduce grains, starches, sugar, and omega-6s. Manage your stress. Exercise, because circulation kind of cures a lot of things inside the body. Drink in moderation. Don't smoke. And if anything, supplement intelligently. So if you know you're missing something in your diet like omega-3s, then it would help you to eat some nuts. Sometimes we are short, woefully short, in some things that we need inside our body, like vitamin A, magnesium, vitamin C. Those things can be supplemented to help keep you up and running. And if you notice a shortage in anything like iron, you don't have to take iron, because iron is real iron, like iron ore out of the side of a mountain. Okay? Iron ore is not all that good for you unless it's been processed in a natural way. And you know how that happens? Well, leafy green vegetables actually take iron out of the ground. It goes through the process through a plant, and when it actually ends up out in the leaves and you eat the leaves, that is biologically processed iron that your body can then use very well. However, just getting iron ore out of the side of a mountain, making it into a powder, putting it into a capsule so you can eat it, I don't think that's all that healthy. Do you? Well, I think I've talked to you all enough about some of this cholesterol stuff, but let me leave you with a few points there, and you might want to pick some of this stuff up. If you don't worry about it. It's all in leafy green vegetables if you should choose to go that route. So fruits and vegetables, you'll get all this stuff, but if you want to concentrate on one thing, I got some pretty good supplements here for you. Take a look at these. I got citrus bergamot extract, D-ribose, that's another one, and curcumin, which is the active ingredient in turmeric. All right, so that's all I got for you today. Let me leave you with just this. The causes of heart disease are inflammation, sugar, and stress. If you can eliminate those things from your life, you will eliminate cholesterol problems and heart problems from your life, and you will not have to worry about getting your cholesterol down, because it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with your heart health. Okay, so I will talk to you all later. Feel free to comment on the video below. Subscribe to the videos if you feel like it's something that would help you out in your life. If not, there is no hard feelings. I love you all anyway. My name is Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, and have a great and extraordinary day.